and welcome to Fans Forum, the place where we take a deep dive into all things Formula One and invite you, the fans, to be front and centre of the conversation. And what I need from you guys first is to like and subscribe, because we've got some great stuff coming your way in 2025 and we need your support. A quick announcement as well, our first ever live forum broadcasting here on YouTube is going to take place on Sunday the 2nd of February, 8 PM GMT, and we're going to take a look back across 2024 and the highlights of all 10 teams. So if you want your dose of Formula One during the off season, make sure that you join us. But for this video, we're now going to take a look at the mayhem from the midfield in 2025. Turning our attention to Aston Martin, owner Lawrence Stroll continues to throw money at the project, and there's no doubting that the capture of legendary aerodynamicist Adrian Newey will have given everyone at the team a lift. But perhaps the 2023 Renaissance has set the expectation bar a little too high. Anyhow, the boss has wielded the axe, demoting Mike Crack to Chief Trackside Officer and promoting former Mercedes engine genius Andy Cowell to team principal. But what about the driving talent? Fernando Alonso turns 44 this season and can't pull off the Peter Pan act forever. 8 podiums in 2023 really did set the benchmark for the team, but none last season shows how quickly the competition evolves. And then there's Lance Stroll, a guy who clearly doesn't enjoy the public side of racing, but with 6 points finishes across 23 Grand Prix last season compared to Fernando Alonso's 14, Dad's patience really will be tested if he's serious about winning in F1. Over at Alpine, the combination of Gasly and Ocon was always a risky combination, and it comes to the conclusion that the French outfit have decided that the former Red Bull protege is the safer pair of hands. I mean, he did outperform his teammate in both of the last 2 seasons, and also last year he didn't cost them a single penny in repair bills. Definitely a safe pair of hands. The team is somewhat in transition, announcing that they're going to be powered by Mercedes from 2026. And in fact, if you look at 2024, if it hadn't been for a calamitous Brazilian Grand Prix, the Constructors' Championship may not have made such great looking for Alpine. In the second seat at the team, they've gone for rookie Jack Doohan, and that may have came as somewhat of a surprise to many, particularly as pretty soon after they announced Franco Colapinto as their reserve driver for 2025. So could we see a deja vu scenario where Colapinto jumps into a seat midway through the season if Doohan is struggling by the halfway point? Moving on to Haas, and what a performance from the American-owned outfit, achieving their best position last time out since 2018, P7 in the Constructors' Championship. So all of you Drive to Survive fans out there, we have to eat humble pie, as getting rid of Gunter Steiner and replacing him with engineer Ayo Komatsu seems like a masterstroke. And remember that each position in the Constructors' Championship is worth around $10 million. So that's an extra $30 million in their pocket for 2025. More surprising though, after such a great performance, is that the team have opted not to stick with either of their drivers for next season. They've gone with Ferrari starlet Oliver Bearman first up. And remember, the youngster can boast scoring points on his F1 debut for both Ferrari and Haas. But probably the more interesting arrival is Frenchman Esteban Ocon. Now let's remember, he was once part of the Mercedes Junior program and was unlucky to lose his seat at a transitional point at Racing Point when the Strolls came in. An area where it might become more fiery though is teammate relations. Both Ocon and Bearman seem like absolute gents off circuit, but they've also both got a fiery side on track. Ocon, of course, is the more experienced of the two, but with a lot of noise around Bearman, he'll be confident of imposing himself as a full-time driver in F1. And now we take a look at RB, Racing Bulls, Visa Cash App, little Red Bull. And the big news over the break is that Yuki Tsunoda will lead the team once again after being overlooked in favour of Liam Lawson for a place in the senior team. And I guess this is what sets professional athletes apart now, because Yuki just needs to knuckle down, because he could be in first position if Lawson doesn't deliver for Red Bull. And also, he wants to keep good stock amongst the grid, because his backers at Honda are returning with Aston Martin in 2026, remember. So Yuki's job once again is to outperform his teammate like he did last season up against the Kiwi, and he'll be pretty confident of doing it in 2025 as well, as he goes up against rookie Isaac Hadjar, who has been making a bit of noise in F2. Last season he got the joint most podiums and most race wins, but consistency meant that he missed out to Gabriel Bortoleto. Anyhow, he's another talent off the Red Bull Juniors conveyor belt, so let's see where his marker falls. Over at Williams, there continues to be investment, even though there was a bit of a slide during 2024. In 2023, the acquisition of James Vowles was a huge coup for the team, and James got to work accelerating performance and raising standards. But at the beginning of last year, the team principal may have tried to run a little too fast before he could walk, because HQ struggled to keep up with the demand for parts, and fundamentally they went racing without a spare chassis. And that, combined with an inexperienced Logan Sargent, led to some nightmares on track. But no doubt the outfit will have learnt from this, and the continued investment comes in the shape of four-time race winner Carlos Sainz from Ferrari. Now, we're sure the Spaniard wouldn't have signed on the dotted line without assurances that all is on track for 2025. But what does this arrival mean for Thai Brit Alex Albon, who has been a little bit of a golden boy at Williams in his time there? Unfortunately, Alex only achieved half the points finishes last season that he did in 2023. And if Carlos Sainz regularly outperforms him during next season, what does that mean for his stock in F1? And finally, it was great to see Guan Yu Zhou secure points for Sauber in Qatar last year, meaning that all teams got off the mark in 2024. But expect it to be another difficult season for the Swiss-based outfit as they wait for the full transition to the Audi Works team in 2026. And that's the reason that German Nico Hülkenberg has signed up for the team. A top competitor through the youth rankings, he's never quite managed to transfer all that potential to Formula One. He has showed some good performances and consistency in his last few seasons at Haas though, so I'm sure development will be aided with that kind of experience. And then alongside the Hulk, you've got back-to-back F3 and F2 champion Gabriel Bortoleto, who's given Brazilians another darling of the race circuit to admire. He's only the fourth driver to win both the feeder series back-to-back, so there is some promise there. I'm sure both Hülkenberg and Bortoleto have had some very positive but frank conversations with former Ferrari boss Matteo Binotto, who now heads up the team. But either way, expect it to be another tough season on circuit for Sauber. And that is your overview of the Formula One midfield for 2025. As you can see, there's going to be some serious battles amongst the teams and some interesting inter-team rivalry amongst teammates as well. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And remember the first live broadcast here on YouTube for your fans forum, 8 p.m. on February the 2nd. We hope you can join us. Thanks for joining us today though on Fans Forum, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.